There's a particular clown I've made a couple videos on over the years because he can't help but embarrass himself sometimes. And in the crypto community, he's looked at in the same way a fart is, where it's something that just makes you laugh because it's a little silly and a little stinky. His name is BitBoy Crypto. I'm not here to just give you a recap and go over his resume. There's plenty of content that goes over all of the shady things he's done over the years. Instead, I want to focus on the modern day, present day, 2023 AD, where once again BitBoy Crypto couldn't help but make a fool of himself. He just broadcast an unhinged live stream here on YouTube that frightened more people than the original run of the Blair Witch Project. He was streaming himself outside of an individual's house that he was having beef with and accused him of stealing his Lamborghini. So he was there to confront him directly and had a weapon in his car as well. So the whole situation was dangerous. The things he was saying was alarming, and eventually officers do arrive there, but then there's another plot twist that's revealed at the end that nobody, not even God himself, would have seen coming. This whole stream played out like a mission in Grand Theft Auto 5. So I'm going to show you some clips from it. For the first clip here, I'm not going to show you any of the video footage because he just reveals where this guy lives. So I don't want to show any of that, but I want you to hear the audio because I think it's important.
Carlos has my Lamborghini right here in his garage. So today, guys, I'm going to be live streaming and I'm going to be telling the entire story.
Now, it's important to give even further context to what led to this situation. He's there because he believes this man stole his Lamborghini, and he's going to spill the beans, let the cat out of the bag here, and talk in depth about this individual as well as his association with this deep cast of characters and different things. And it's a lot of very eyebrow-raising, alarming accusations he makes against them with things he's said he's done or things that he's capable of doing. And from everything I've read from the community, as well as everything I've read up on in the BitBoy cinematic universe leading up to this situation, no one knows if any of these accusations are truthful. However, even if everything he says here is beyond a shadow of a doubt the truth, BitBoy Crypto is fluent in facts, all of this is legitimate, everyone can agree that he handled it in the worst way possible. This is not how you should have handled this situation at all. It should have gone to authorities, have it go through court. Instead, Ben, his name is Ben, rolls out here like he's fucking Batman. He's rolling out here like he's the spirit of vengeance, scooting in sideways with his truck and a weapon in his truck, just in case shit gets hairy. Like, that is not optimal at all. And then streaming the whole thing on YouTube, turning it into a fucking spectacle, is bafflingly unhinged.
Hey, how's it going? Yep.
Hey, stop.
How's it going?
Stop.
Oh, stop. I couldn't hear.
You have a weapon on you.
No, I do not.
Okay.
I do not.
So.
I have one in my vehicle, but I do not have a weapon on me.
Okay.
Now this is when the cops arrive into the equation. They confront Ben saying, "Hey bub, what's going on here, Buster, huh? What's all the commotion?" And this is when a very intriguing narrative starts to unwind.
Okay.
Do me a favor. Take out your whatever. Fanny pack.
I'm sorry. I reached too fast. I'm sorry. Sorry. Okay.
Put your phone down.
Okay.
Put the phone down.
Okay. I'll put the phone down. Okay.
Put the phone.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Put the phone down.
Put the fanny pack down.
Okay.
Him putting that phone down was harder than getting a child to eat their vegetables. He did not want to put that phone down because for him, it seems like he's fully content-brained, and all of this is great for the stream. So he really didn't want to put that phone down, but eventually he plays ball. But he makes sure to put it down in a way that it still captures him and all of the glory that's happening here. Which is so fucking weird why he wouldn't just turn the stream off here. He is proudly filming his most embarrassing moment in this dimension. He is going to the Doofus Club to receive high accommodation, and he's doing it with a smile on his face.
What's going on?
What's going on? This man inside of this house.
Actually, he's gonna check you real quick.
Absolutely.
Just the weapons.
I'm sorry. I have a. Okay. Yep. No weapons. No
Where in
weapons.
the car is your gun?
It's in the back seat.
Back seat?
Yep.
Is anybody else in the car?
I feel like I should mention that this wasn't something that caught him off guard. He even said earlier in the stream that he'd like the cops to show up. He knew that this was a very likely situation where cops would arrive at the scene, and he welcomed it with open arms. But now that they're here, it's not exactly seeming like he's all that happy to see them. And the officer just asked him a very important question. Is there anyone else in the car? And boy howdy, you're not ready for what comes next. I don't care how much you've studied the periodic table, you are not prepared for this element of surprise.
Yes, who's in the car? Who? What's that?
Who's in your car?
Who's in my car?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's,
Who's in your car?
who's in my car?
Who's in your truck, sir?
Cassie is in my car. Cassie's in my
All
truck.
right, Cassie.
Cassie's in my truck. My wife knows that we're here, by the way. She knows we came to do this. But my wife is aware. So we're live on YouTube right now.
Okay.
We got about 2,500 people watching. So Cassie is a girl I had an affair with. She's involved in this situation with me and this guy here.
My jaw was on the floor. I actually felt like I was watching some kind of early 2000s, like Young and the Restless, some kind of soap opera. Like, you couldn't have scripted that any more dramatic. Like, he starts taking those pauses, like, who's in my car? Sweat pouring down his face, maybe like a close-up zoom in. Well, let's, who's, in my car? That car. Yeah, who's in my... And then eventually, he finally spits it out. Fucking BitBoy Crypto here finally lets the officer know who's in the vehicle after he asked the question. The officer had to pull teeth to get there, but he finally states that the woman in the car is the woman he's cheating on his wife with. And then immediately, like, he knows Stream is watching because he made sure of it. He, for some reason, didn't anticipate that the officers would look at his car and realize there's another human being there. So I guess it just never even registered in his smooth brain that the officers were going to find out that the woman he's having an affair with is at the scene. Unless she activated some kind of active camouflage out of Halo or some shit, some kind of forbidden, ninjutsu to disguise herself, like they were going to find her. And for some reason, he kept the stream on, even knowing that was going to happen. So he immediately starts talking to Stream, and not even the officers really, like, but my wife knows that Cassie and I are here. I had an affair with Cassie, but my wife knows we're here. We had actually just come from my daughter's tennis match. She knows we're over here doing this. It's not exactly scummy or slimy because my wife knows that the woman I'm cheating on her with is here with me at the scene with this guy that I'm having this problem with.
In the situation with me and this guy here, my wife knows. We were just at my daughter's tennis match. Cassie and I have came over here because this man is extorting me. He's death threatening me. He stole my Lamborghini. My Lamborghini is in his garage right now.
The officer just did the kindest thing anyone's ever done for BitBoy Crypto in his whole life. He turned the show off. He takes his phone, turns it face down so that people can no longer see all the action and all of that. Now, he doesn't turn the stream off. Maybe he didn't know how. But he puts the phone face down and he leads BitBoy Crypto away from it so you can't really hear him very well and you can't see anything anymore. So he just made it private, which is what this whole thing should have been in the first place. If all of these accusations are true and all of that, it should have been handled privately and instead of turning it into a live stream and escalating to a point where you're bringing a fucking weapon to this guy's house. Now, the stream continues for about 18 minutes after this, but it's all just the void. So you can't see anything anymore. Eventually the stream ends. Now, the stream lasted just shy of 40 minutes, and throughout the entirety of it, he is speaking very rushed. He's very out of breath. At sometimes it really feels like he may be under the influence of something. Of course, I'm not there with a fucking toxicology report. I'm just giving it the old eyeball test. He's just speaking in a way that feels like he's not in his right mind. He's not in a healthy headspace. And most of the community is attributing a lot of this to the really rough month BitBoy Crypto has had. I mentioned that I was reading up on the BitBoy Crypto cinematic universe. Well, that's a novel longer than Homer's Odyssey. It has so much that has happened in Ben's life over the last month that it has been an incredibly long read on getting caught up with the lore. But basically, he's had his whole life turned on its ass. It's in a position now where he feels he has been the victim of a scam, which a lot of people in the community felt was incredibly ironic and actually a gut-bustingly great joke because for a long time, BitBoy Crypto has actually had a reputation for being looked at as a scammer himself in the eyes of some people, with many feeling as though they've been victims of scams that he has run, allegedly. So when that information came out, the floodgates really started to open. A lot happened with his company, and he eventually was saying like he didn't even have $20 to fill up his tank of gas, and then was like asking the community for donations. It was a mess. But a lot of that has been going on over the last month, and then it led up to this. So there is speculation that perhaps this is his breaking point. This is him having a meltdown, a breakdown that he is streaming now. And I think that's probably accurate. This whole situation here doesn't exactly come from a thought process that's thinking rationally. Now, Ben did get arrested at the scene, but you can't put Big Ben in the pin for long. He spent about 8 hours in the slammer, according to his tweet this morning. He was charged with loitering, I guess, and he immediately took to Twitter to let the world know, you don't tussle with the muscle. According to BitBoy Crypto, he's been on steroids, and if that's the case, if that's true, I don't know where his muscles are. He must have minted those on the blockchain. Seems kind of a waste to be on steroids without actually working out. I also watched an interview where someone who has worked closely with Ben has accused him of suffering from roid rage, and I've seen a few people start to say that that's what this stream was, the product of a roid rage incident. I don't think that's the case, and I don't know how true the claim is that he has roid rage blow-ups from time to time, but I thought it was at least worth mentioning as, you know, a maybe that had something to do with this, but personally, I don't think it did. He also did make a lot of other tweets this morning. One of them really just makes it feel like we're stuck in a fucking reality TV show with him now, where he's talking about Cassie, the woman that he's cheating on his wife with. He comes out screaming that he's not getting rid of Cassie, saying that his friends and family have lied, manipulated him, they want to break them up, but he's never getting rid of her, never. And then says, me, my wife, and Cassie are trying to figure this out. We're all grown adults capable of making our own decisions, and we don't need any of you to help us with that decision. So please butt out of my personal life as it relates to my relationships. He's right, it is a personal relationship, and it should be a private matter, but with BitBoy Crypto, there's no such thing as privacy. That word, doesn't exist. He, for a long time, has shared so much about himself and his life online, publicly, for a long time. So, obviously, people know a lot about his situation because he kind of shares a lot of it. He may be a goofball, but he is correct about something here, that they are all adults and they can make their own decisions. That is true. But if I may chime in with a little unsolicited advice to his wife, don't stay with a man who's going to cheat on you. Why be faithful to a man who's not going to be faithful to you? If this was a polyamorous relationship and it was agreed upon in this marriage where they could see other people, that'd be one thing, that'd be fine, you'd be on the same page. But from everything that's been put out there, it was not a poly relationship. This was an extracurricular activity happening outside of the marriage. So if you want to try and work through it together, that's your right, that's totally fine, that's what you want to do. But just know, he has very much drawn a line in the sand. No matter what happens, come hell or high water, Cassie will be there. So basically you're now making a decision moving forward on whether you want to stay with BitBoy Crypto and also marry his mistress, because he's made it clear, she's not going anywhere. She's tagging along forever in this WWE match we call life. So again, they're adults, they can make their own decision with what they want to do with this. This is a private matter that for some reason BitBoy just keeps taking publicly. But anyway, just a wildly dangerous and bafflingly unhinged situation here with this stream, and that's really about it. Just wanted to give you the update on the BitBoy Crypto saga here. That's it. See ya.